Times are a changing. They're changing for real estate agents, they're changing for loan officers, they're changing for real estate companies, and they're, of course, changing for mortgage banks. I came across an interesting article talking about change this last week, and the article was written by, I'm going to say her name wrong, so I apologize, Kayleen Guzman. Kayleen Guzman. And it was published in Inman last week. And the name of the article was Being a Neighborhood Expert Isn't Enough Anymore. And here's what she's talking about. She said, look, it used to be that if you were the neighborhood expert, if you knew every house, every nook and cranny, every lot line, if you knew the best pizza place, the best mechanic, the barista that made the best cappuccino, if you knew the best contractors, if you just knew everything in your little territory, that was enough to be successful. And that was enough to serve your clients. But today, what she argues in her article is that's just table stakes. That's just enough to be in business, but not necessarily to get you business. And here's why this article resonated with me. It's true for all of us. We all have to get better. We all have to be more. We all have to be more valuable because the consumer is requiring more. And it's viciously competitive. And so we all have to level up. And so the article resonated with me because she's rallying real estate agents to level up. We all have to level up. And so here's what she said. She said, really interesting. She goes, look, in her article, buyers no longer need you to give them market information. They can get everything they want online. In fact, many of them are watching multiple videos on YouTube that are hyper local that's showing them everything they need. And so they don't need you to be the Wikipedia of their market anymore. Instead, here are the 3 things that you need to do. Now, by the way, when I say instead, you still have to be the expert. Your clients can't have more market knowledge than you do. So you still have to have that as a baseline. But to actually elevate your value, you need to bring to the equation market savvy, which means not just pulling comps, but interpreting trends and offering forward-looking insights, right? That can help them shape their decisions. So interpret what the data says, right? Help them. And then you need storytelling in that the ability to translate numbers into a narrative, whether it's marketing a listing or presenting a strategy. People don't just need facts, they need context that resonates. Tell them a story about somebody that bought in the neighborhood, and here's how they benefited, and here's a wonderful neighbor community, and here their kids are safe, and tell them a story about why that house fits their goals. And then finally, the third thing is strategy, right? You got that tactical guidance matters more than ever, and people want it more than ever. Professionals who can think a few moves ahead, who know when to wait, when to act, and when to reframe the plan stand out. So market savvy, storytelling, and strategy, right? And she went on to say, by the way, you need to build a brand that travels. And I really like that concept, build a brand that travels, because she said, if you're just a market expert, what happens if your wowed client moves into a new neighborhood? What happens then? Do you no longer serve them? If they go across state lines, they're no longer your client? So instead, provide a service that is transportable to wherever your clients are. And I really like that. And, as I said, I think this applies whether you're a loan officer or a real estate agent. We all have to level up. And this article is just a really good example of how you might level up. Because you know what? And for real estate agents, and it's true for us, by the way, in today's market, local knowledge gets you into the game, but strategy is how you win. And so for loan officers, rate and program knowledge aren't enough. Clients expect us to be able to help them interpret headlines, all the fear mongering, offer tailored guidance, and work seamlessly with all the parties in a transaction to help them have success. So that's the article. I will put a link to the article below. I did do a full LinkedIn write-up on this, so check it out. Whether you want to get the link below. The article is a really good article, but check me out on LinkedIn. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks so much.